Alright, so today I'm going to take these off. So I really don't feel like ordering $300 worth of fans. That's why I bought them cheap eBay ones. I'm going to try to see if I can get these to work. These are the stock fans. Austin's only got one stock fan in his, and it ain't even up against the radiator, and it keeps his cooler than mine keeps mine. These keep mine cooler. So I'm going to try to figure out a way to mount those. The only bad thing about these is where they stick out so far. We'll see. I'm gonna rip these fans out of here. So what I did is I grounded, this was flat right through here, but there was a little bit showing, so I grounded it off on that side, and this side I grounded that ledge off right there all the way around. See that ledge? I grounded it off all the way around there. I grounded these fins off. See, it's got these fins. I grounded those off. And then down here, that ledge was sticking straight up right there, and I bent it down. And they fit in there. The only bad thing about it is these eyelets are like right here, if they're both in the middle. And on these right here, if this stuck out farther than the fan did, I'd be fine. But it don't. And that sucks. If that went back in just a little, see, touches the fan. If that touched that part, I'd be good. But since the fan part wants to touch first, I'm gonna have to figure out a way to pull this back so this don't hit the radiator or hit that little side thing, because it's going to overlap a little bit. And I took this whole mechanism out, just made it easier to work on, but I put both fans in just like that, and it fits back in there. It just can't bolt to the bottom no more because I bent that down. I might be able to bend that part up, bolt it back, but it does bolt down there. But it's kind of pointless that it bolts down there, because it bolts up here and up here. So I don't think you need that piece that goes all the way down. But yeah, see how that one's in there, and this hole is right there. And if that, see, that might rub the fan right there. No, it won't. Just got to figure out a way to brace it so it doesn't get up against the this part. See, it's rubbing it right now. See, now it's not rubbing it. So, see, there they are in. And this piece still fits in here without touching the ends, because those, I know when I touched those with a wrench one day before, it sparked. So, I don't know. We gotta figure out a way, like I said, because the fan sticks out farther than the, I wish that didn't do that, man. It'd be set if it didn't do that. If this lip come out further, we'd be set, but it don't. So I gotta figure something out and figure out how to make them stay in there. So the actual fan on these doesn't start till about, I don't know, a little over an inch back. So what I did, and this is just a for now thing, is I put self-tappers through that piece of metal I folded back and through the fan. I put two here, and then two there. See over the wire. And then once I put this brace back in, and push those forward, I'll put a self-tapper here and there to do the same thing. But that's just a for now thing, because I don't want them self-tappers to come out the drag strip and give somebody a flat tire. I mean, they're okay if they're like that, because if they jar loose, they're still in the hole. Whereas if they jar loose down there, they'll fall out. But It's just a for now thing, and then I'll take, just to make sure it's going to work and keep the car cool. Once I find out that it's going to keep the car cool, we'll make some kind of bracket. Actually, not even going to need self-tappers at the top, because when I put them self-tappers in the bottom, I pull the fans back, and this right here, when I tighten it up, it's going to tighten the fan up to it like that, and hopefully it doesn't put anything in a bind and everything still works, but we'll see. All right, I got it all back together. I got to button up a few more things. When you put these bolts back in, the washer will leave a mark. Make sure you line everything back up the same way you took it off on all these. There's two under here. If you take these off, if you don't, it's going to be off. This one's off a little bit. I'm going to have someone lift up on this. Lift up on this while I tighten this one up. It's off just a little. But I shut the hood and it latches and everything like that. But I was cutting my fender flares out one day, and I cut my hood popper, which I kind of like it out here anyway. So I had it ran underneath and out this hole right here, and I just pop it right here. I like it better that way, to be honest with you. But I got to run that back through there. You see it's chilling out right here. It's not easy to get back through there before I can shut the hood. But it got dark on me, so tomorrow we'll hook HB tuners to it, and we'll turn the fans on, make sure they spin good, make sure they spin the right direction, and make sure they don't hit nothing, make sure they spin the right direction. If they do, everything's good. We'll drive it down to Ace and get some self-tappers, and we'll put one right there all the way through the fan, and one right there all the way through the fan. And again, that's just a temporary solution. If it keeps the car nice and cool, then we'll figure something else out to mount them up in there. But I think that's going to work. I do. I actually wish I did that before instead of spending $80 on them cheap fans that don't work. Alright, so it's the next day. I'm on my lunch break, so I was just going to come out here and hook HB tuners up and turn the fans on and make sure nothing's hitting, and make sure that it's the fans are spinning the correct way. Alright, and I did run my hook latch out here. It all works as it should. But you'll notice this side right here, it's not all the way up where it's supposed to be. Austin's coming over later. I'm going to have him lift up on that. I'll loosen that bolt, loosen this bolt, and have him pull up on that, and I'll tighten that one up. And then after work, I'm going to drill some self-tappers right there just to hold the fan. There's two in the bottom to keep it from spinning. And then I'll put a self-tapper here because they can, I don't think they'll bounce all the way forward. Where I put them self-tappers in the bottom, it kind of, when I put them in, it pulled the fan back from the top, so there's force on it trying to pull it back with them self-tappers in the bottom. But let's turn the fans on and see what it does. So turn the key on, pull the scanner up here. Pretty sure y'all can't even see that, but we'll go up here, do I can barely see it. Connect the vehicle. And it tries to connect. It connected. Then this green button up here. Click on that. Then we go over to System and Fans. System up here. I can't hardly see, guys. And then fans right there. And then on. You can hear it. Then off. turn the other one on. Oh, that one's not coming on. Let's try this one. Let's see if both of them are spinning. This one's spinning. There's a lot more air coming through there than the other fans. Now we got to figure out why this one's not spinning. Let me shut that one off just to make sure it's spinning the right way. It's hard to tell when it hits the radiator because some of the air bounces back off. You can't feel it coming out over here. Alright, shut it off. Spinning down. And it is spinning the right way. So you just got to look at the blades and figure, you know, if it spins this way, it's going to push. If it spins that way, it's not. But why ain't this one working? We've got a problem somewhere. Alright. I turned it off and on. I could hear the relay clicking. The relays are in there, by the way. So we're not getting power somewhere. So we need to take the plug off and ohm out the ground side and check the power side. See what we get. Well, before I went and got the multimeter, I checked to see if this one was hitting. And it was hitting. It's not hitting now, but see if it comes on now. So y'all can hear that clicking. That one's hitting. So we gotta figure out something why it's hitting, where it's hitting. So on this one right here, that latch actually goes in there. Now that's not hitting the fan, but it's pushing it forward enough where the fan's hitting. Like I showed y'all before, the fan goes down farther than this piece does. So it's hitting over here. That's pushing it forward and it's hitting over here. I wish these little lips went down farther than the fan did, but that's not the case. So I'm definitely going to have to get self-tappers for this one and pull it back and put a bolt right there just to hold it back. And I also could cut that out some so that doesn't push it forward. Because like I said, the fans, see, I'm touching the fan right there. It's about 1 inch inside this lip thing. But see, there's fan 2 on. It's not hitting nothing now. I'm gonna shut it off. I'm gonna run around there, make sure it's spinning the right way. Should be spinning clockwise as we're looking at it. And it is. Now let's turn them both on. Feel what it feels like. Alright, there's both of them on. Man, I can feel the wind out here. Wow. It's moving a lot more air. Well, that feels way better. Feels a lot better. But after work, we're going to get some self-tappers, especially on that one, to hold it back. But that's just a 4 now, again, just a 4 now. I'm going to figure out something to make a bracket to hold all that in there. But they work. And that feels like a lot more air going through there. I don't know what these are rated at, but I mean, there's a serious amount of air going right there. There's more air everywhere. So if y'all watched my last video on that eBay fan install, don't buy those. They suck. And we're going to confirm how much they suck once we drive this after work. I'm gonna drive it after work. I'm gonna go run, there's a hardware store right down the road. I'm gonna get some longer self-tappers here and there, and then drive it around after work and see how it does like this. So the closest E85 station to me, 20-minute drive there, 20-minute drive back. I got like 4 of these jugs. I just fill them up when I'm going to Winchester. And I got this little siphon hose from Harbor Freight, which is really cool. I had to put this adapter on here, this extension, because this size hose didn't want to fit in the hole. These things are really cool. You just stick it in the hole right there, and then your gas can's got to be higher than where you're putting the gas. So I just set it up here, and you just shake it until the gas comes around, starts going in by itself. Once it does it all by itself. Just shake it a little and off it goes. Once it starts getting low, I'll put this towards the front of the tank so it sucks it all up. But it only takes it about, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes for 5 gallons. That's way easier than trying to pour that in there. I recommend that. I like that. So got my mom hanging out with me when she comes to visit. So get some self-tappers, pull those fans back, self-tap it to a point where the fans aren't hitting anything, and then go for a drive. Get it all hot, and then once the fans, before you drove it and it could get up to temp, and then you'd stop at a red light or something, the temperature just start creeping up. After I bled the coolant and everything, it only got up to like, I don't know, 215, but once you got on the highway, then it dropped back down to 190. But I want it to stay about 180, 190, no matter where I'm at. No longer how the car's sitting and idling, etc. Because yeah, but we'll see if these stock fans do the trick. Pretty sure they will. But we'll see after work. Go for a drive. All right, got the self-tappers in there. Same on this side. They spin pretty good with your finger on both sides. Let's go ahead and hook XP tuners up to them. Spin them up to speed and make sure they don't hit, and we'll go for a ride. It's 88 today, so if it's going to overheat, today would be the day. Today would be the day to test the fans. Oh yeah, those are actually pretty sturdy. No forward and back. There's a little bit of side to side. Well, not on this one. That one don't move side to side. This one does. But no forward and back. But yeah. There we go. Both fans on. No noise. Let's ride. Alright, and there's our start time. Actually, I started it at 5:37. Let's see what we got. Alright, drove up and down the highway about 20 minutes. And it's up to 205. It's as high as it's gotten. So I'm just parked right now. That's the highway over there. I'm just parked right now on the ride and share. And see if it goes up or down any. Look at there, it's actually going to go down. I think I need to turn the fans off when I'm on the highway. It actually, well, it's jumping back and forth. Let's see what it does. Look at them IATs though, where that is in front of the radiator. That's not good at all. But I'm gonna let it idle a little here. I don't think it's gonna go over that because it's jumping back and forth, but we'll see. Give it about 10 minutes, I guess. So I don't need to sit here and let it run. The temperature's going down. It's what, running 4 minutes, and it's going down. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change the tune. I had the fans running all the time after like 175. See, and I'm gonna turn them off at like 50 miles an hour. I think the yeah, I'm gonna turn them off at 50 and see what it does. Well, I guess on this one you can't change the off-on fans for the speed you're going. So this car stays at like 3,400 RPM going down the road, down the highway. So temperature does get up to about 205, I think was the highest. But I'm gonna make the fans come on a little bit earlier, see if that helps any. It's got a 160 thermostat in it, so really it shouldn't get that hot, but I'm gonna drive it more and see what happens. I don't know what time we started, what, 30? I'm driving it about 40 minutes. It got up to 208. That's as high as it goes, and that's with me getting on it. And then it gets hotter on the highway now than it does sitting still. You're sitting here idling, and starts coming down, see? But you know what? I'm fine with that. That'll do just fine. I gotta run the air intake better. That's just pulling all the heat right off the radiator. But yeah, that'll do it. You guys like and subscribe. Have a great day. So you know, actually now that I'm thinking about it, I think I put the 190 thermostat back in it. And it idle, just parked, it stays around 195. And then driving down the highway, it got up to like 208. But I mean, that car with them gears and that transmission, you're revving about 3,500 going down the highway. That's as high as it goes, and if you shut it off, turn it back on, it gets up to 212. You jump on the, if you just sit there, it'll cool down to 195. If you drive on the highway, it's around 205 to 210. So I'm gonna call that good.